So how does solar offset utility costs? On the most fundamental level, solar allows customers to produce their own energy instead of buying it from the grid. So it actively replaces energy that you would otherwise have to be buying from the grid and from the utility. Net metering is a billing arrangement with the utility that allows customers to generate electricity on site for their own use, and also to export any excess electricity back to the grid and receive a credit for that on their hydro account. So how this functions practically is that every kilowatt hour, every bit of energy that the solar is generating is first flowing into the customer's building and powers the loads in the building. So it powers the lights and the air conditioning and the machinery in the building. That solar energy first flows to the building to power those loads. If at any given time the solar is producing more energy than the building needs at that moment, the excess energy flows back to the grid through the customer's utility meter, and that's recorded as a credit on their utility account. Similarly, if it's nighttime, solar isn't producing, the facility is purchasing energy and using energy from the grid. At the end of the month, the utility looks at how many kilowatt hours, how much energy did the facility consume from the grid, and how much did it send back to the grid, and you're billed for the net amount of usage. So that's kind of where the term net metering comes from. In addition to that, as you can export excess energy for credits on your utility account, if there's a sustained period of energy export, so a sustained period of excess energy, you can accumulate those credits and you can carry those credits forward for up to 12 months. What we see often in practice is that a lot of our clients will be over-generating, producing more energy than they need from solar in the summertime. They are racking up credits on their utility accounts, and then those credits are automatically applied to offset their bill charges in the wintertime when solar is producing less and maybe their energy usage is higher. So it's really an extremely effective mechanism for customers to realize the benefit of solar, but it also means that no matter when they're generating energy, even if they aren't using it in real time, they're always going to get the full benefit of that energy that was generated. So there are several ways in which commercial customers are charged for the energy they use. There are charges for the peak demand, so i.e. the point at their maximum power demand at any given moment during the month. And then there are other associated delivery and transmission charges that are built into the bill as well, which can be difficult to unpack as a business owner. There's 3 layers to commercial electricity bills here in the province of Ontario. One being the commodity electricity, so that's based on the quantity of energy that's used. There is another area of the bill called global adjustment, and many will be familiar with that line item on their bill. It's usually a pretty significant amount. And that charge reflects the cost to operate the grid, so to maintain the poles and the wires and the overall energy infrastructure of the grid here in Ontario. In addition to that, the third category of charges on the bill is what we call delivery charges. So that is for transmission and distribution charges specific to that hydro company. These vary from hydro company to hydro company, so depending on where you're at in the province and who you're buying your electricity from, those charges can vary significantly. The great thing about solar is that solar is able to impact all 3 of those areas of your bill. So solar not only offsets the quantity of energy that you buy from the grid, it also lowers your peak demand on the grid, and it also lowers your global adjustment charges as well, since again, you're consuming less from the grid. So how does solar help peak shaving, and how does solar help offset the most expensive electricity? Well, here in Ontario, and indeed in most markets in North America, we do have a dynamic pricing system for energy. So the price for electricity will vary over the course of the day based on what the demand is for that electricity. And Economics 101 will tell you that if there's more demand for electricity, that electricity can be sold or is sold at a higher price. And when do we see the highest prices for electricity over the course of the day? Well, as you can imagine, that's when people are consuming the most, when businesses are operating, when factories are producing. And so the most expensive electricity usually occurs during the daytime, so during business hours between, let's say, 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. The good news is that that lines up perfectly with when solar is producing the most energy. So solar is producing at the times of day when energy is the most expensive. And so the value of the energy that you're offsetting with solar is energy at the highest price during the course of the day. So that really helps drive the savings and the positive economics of solar.